Welcome, everyone, to this week astrology for the week of where are we at? November 3rd to November 9th. I hope you guys had a really happy Halloween and that you're still celebrating. I'm sure there's festivities still going on, which you can enjoy. Welcome to my channel. If you are new here, I'm Joshua the psychic astrologer, and law of attraction life coach. You can check out my website for all my services if there's anything you need, including your horoscopes for the current lunation. If you're catching this live or around November 1st, well, happy new moon in Scorpio, which we did taroscopes for that, so you can check that out in the description below. You can find your sign, find out what's up. Happy Friday, Pam. Nice to see you. I hope you had a really happy Halloween and that you're still celebrating. That could be fun. And last night, actually, we did a live stream about manifesting with the moon, how you can light candles. I would do so. It's just the first time for a bit that we actually should be lighting candles because we had eclipse season, and you're not supposed to light candles under the eclipse. So if you're looking for insight into how to do a new moon ritual for yourself, lighting candles, and how you can manifest and zone in on your desires, well, check out that live stream. The link to that is in the description below. And if you need any help and you want somebody to do some spell work for you, well, I can. You can check out my website, psychicsun.com/spells, and we can light a candle for you. But connect with me soon if you want to do that, because I need to get supplies and we don't want to wait too long after the new moon, or it's not going to be as efficacious. You want your spells to be effective. So today's Friday, if you're catching this live, and on Saturday, November 2nd, Mercury is going to be entering Sagittarius, and it's going to be staying there until January 8th. Now, the reason why Mercury there is going to be there so long, usually Mercury moves a lot more quickly, is due to Mercury retrograde. Mercury is going to be retrograding from November 25th to December 15th, and it's going to be in its pre-shadow period, the 7th, which is really soon. And what's really nice, it will exit its post-shadow period on January 2nd. So that's really nice, because we're going to be able to start our new year off on a really easy foot. The thing is, Mercury is not too happy in Sagittarius, because Mercury's ruler is Gemini. Mercury's happiest in, say, Virgo and Gemini. So it's in a rough spot. It's a rough spot with Mercury and Sagittarius, because Sagittarius is big picture, and Mercury wants you to get from A to B. It doesn't want you to see the whole map. It wants you to zone in on this particular area where you're navigating. So definitely enjoy Mercury and Sagittarius, but mind your details. Communication is going to take on a more optimistic and expansive tone. So that'll be really nice. And it's going to encourage us to explore new ideas and to share our thoughts with enthusiasm. So enjoy that. Cass Marr, happy Friday to you. I hope you had a wonderful Halloween. Thanks for joining me last night in the live stream. And happy Friday and happy weekend. So let's talk about this week and how you can make the most of it. Make the most of just one small day. That's what we do here on This Week Astrology. So because it's the new moon today, if you're catching this live, November 1st, we're now under the waxing moon phase. So that's the time in which we're drawing in energy. We're taking inspired action. We're pursuing our desires to manifest our intentions. Explore paths to miracles. It's a very transformative transit that we're under. And remember, all miracles are based on love. So if you want more miracles, love more. Not just your honey or your friends or your neighbor, but everything, like the whole world, the food you eat, the movies you watch, the music you listen to, etc. And Sunday is the Sun's Day, of course. It connects us to the eternal present moment. It's a day to enjoy your life and do those things that light you up. Anything that lights you up with joy is really good. That's a great start to your week. And it's a very optimistic start to your week, actually, because the moon will be in Sagittarius. Keywords for your Sagittarius moon on Sunday include bold, adventurous, optimistic, independent, philosophical, honest, enthusiastic, generous, idealistic, open-minded, and freedom-loving. And it's a very celebratory day because the numerology on Sunday is a 3, which represents creativity and self-expression, signifying imagination, enthusiasm, and spontaneity. Think artistic ventures and communication. And because we're under the new moon cycle, it's a great time to start some creative projects because we have a lot of watery energy, as you may have found out in my previous streams. And Mars in Cancer, however, will be opposing Pluto in Capricorn. So you might experience some intense emotions and power struggles, but that Sagittarius moon is going to bring us a little bit more levity. It's going to help us keep the big picture in mind. With this opposition on Sunday, however, focus on nurturing your resilience and transforming challenges into opportunities for growth and empowerment. Michelle Pfeiffer has this aspect in her chart. She, let's see, what does she have? She has Michelle, my belle, where are you? Oh, yeah, has her Mars in early Pisces and her Pluto in late Leo. And it worked out well for her, so maybe watch some Michelle Pfeiffer flick. I think she's married to David E. Kelley, that writer still. So definitely an inspiring figure. So enjoy that transit and definitely do whatever it is that you can to take a beat. We're feeling things very intensely under the Scorpio sun, especially with what's going on in the world. So make sure to relax a little bit and be very particular about what hills you die on, okay? Just keep that in mind. And on Monday, the 4th of November, of course, we're under our waxing phase. We're taking inspired action and pursuing paths to miracles. Your day's planetary ruler on Monday is the moon. It's the moon's day, the most sensitive, porous day of the week. So you may want to double down on your self-care, nurture your subconscious mind. Don't give yourself the luxury of a negative thought on the moon's day. You may want to really enjoy water, taking baths, or who knows, maybe you could go on a trip to the ocean. That could be good. Or enjoying waterfalls, drinking more water, eating more fruits and vegetables, stuff like that. Because we have a lot of water energy that we're playing with right now, and you want to leverage it. But the moon will be in a fire sign on Monday, Sagittarius, so embrace adventure and spontaneity, explore new ideas and cultures while nurturing your spirit through laughter, optimism, and broadening your horizons. And it's a 4 on Monday, which represents stability and practicality. It signifies structure, determination, and reliability. Think systematic efforts, getting things all aligned, which is perfect for this lunation that we're under because you want to definitely make that push to achieve any objectives that you set out in the new year. This is the last hurrah, right? Before our new year in a lot of ways because of the retrogrades that we have with Mercury and Mars. So definitely complete something and move forward with what you want. On Monday, we have a really nice trine. We have the Sun in Scorpio trining Saturn in Pisces. So embrace a day of emotional depth and clarity. The energy is going to feel a lot better, I think, under this lunation. I've never been so happy to see a Scorpio new moon. I think it's just going to make things a lot easier. And it's a day to harness discipline and creativity to achieve your long-term goals while strengthening connections and responsibility. So because we have this new moon in Scorpio, what's really, really nice is that with the Saturn aspect, you're going to be able to put your new goals on a trajectory. So say you want to become a new person or adopt new habits. Saturn is going to help you keep things on track. So it's a new emotional flow that we're all going through at this point with the new moon in Scorpio and that beautiful grand trine. So it's a matter of making sure that you have your goals, but you're keeping them on track and you're stabilizing your life in light of your goals, which has to do with your habits. So if you're looking to incorporate new habits into your life, Monday's a really great day to start. Leonardo DiCaprio has Sun trine Saturn in his chart. His Sun, of course, is in Scorpio. No surprise there. And his Saturn is in Cancer. So maybe watch a Leonardo DiCaprio flick. Watch him suffer. Because he's able to turn his suffering into art, which we all can do. We can transform our suffering into art. Leo certainly does that, it seems. So also on Monday, Mars is entering Leo. So Leos are going to get a little bit of a a nice little boost. If you have a strong Leo in your chart, this is going to be good. However, Mars will be going retrograde December 6th. So do keep that in mind. As Mars enters Leo on November 4th, it's time to embrace your creative passions and express yourself boldly. Reflect on how you've channeled your energy into self-expression and leadership since Mars last visited Leo. So you want to think back to last year, May. Mars was in Leo last year, I believe. Let's see what the dates were. Mars was in Leo last year, 2023, May 20th to July 10th. So it might be helpful to go back to then, see what you were doing, check your emails, and see how you've changed, especially in terms of your self-expression and your leadership. Use this period, November 4th to January 6th, to ignite your confidence and pursue your desires with enthusiasm. Mars entering Leo encourages you to take center stage, allowing your unique talents to shine and inspiring those around you. Align your actions with your heart's desires, paving the way for a vibrant and fulfilling journey ahead. So this is a long transit with Mars and Leo due to Mars retrograding. Mars will be in Leo from November 4th to January 6th. It will go retrograde December 6th to February 23rd. And Mars will re-enter Leo, actually, on April 17th. So, because it's going to be quite the transit indeed. So do keep that in mind and enjoy taking center stage and being a leader. That's going to be really, really key. And on Tuesday, the 5th of November, oh boy, it's election day, folks. And of course, we're under our waxing moon. So take inspired action, pursue your desires, manifest your intentions, focus on what you want, not what you don't want. Our action-oriented Mars rules your day on Tuesday, which is ideal for anything that requires extra courage, drive, and initiative. Now, your moon will be in Sagittarius until 10:17 a.m. East on Tuesday, and then it will shift to Capricorn. So we have this adventurous and optimistic vibe early in the day, and then we're shifting to Capricorn, which is going to bring a focus to our discipline. It's going to be good for setting goals and making practical plans. And it's a 5, which has to do with adventure and freedom, but also there may be an adjustment to the plan. It's interesting that election day is on the 5th. I mean, they couldn't have picked a worse number for the election day to be on, right? Because it's about change and conflict with change, typically 5s. 5s can bring struggle. So give yourself extra time to get certain places, be flexible. Otherwise, 5 is nice. It represents curiosity, flexibility, and unpredictability. Think exploration and adaptability. And as we said, yes, it is election day. Celebrate civic engagement and the power of our voices. Encourage participation and advocate for informed choices to shape a brighter future for our communities. So this election is extremely volatile. No matter what happens, there are going to be some people that are going to be very, very, very upset no matter what. And although we want our own side to win, if we have a side, some people don't. They're just over it. They don't even have a horse in this race. You got to remember that because of the law of one and how we're at the end of the day, we're all the same. We're all connected, that if you suffer, I suffer too. So because this race is so derisive, it's going to be important for you to have compassion to the losing side, right? And let's just make it really clear. This is not going to be figured out on the 5th, right? I'd be very surprised if we had an answer. I feel like it's probably going to be contested and it could actually change, right? So it's a nail-biting time for a lot of people. A lot of people are very, very emotional about this, right? So you want to have compassion. So whether your side wins or they lose, right, you always want to be compassionate for the other side because you're experiencing what they're experiencing, even if you're not conscious of it. So be compassionate and find some way to connect with everybody, irrespective of your political leanings, right? I feel like it's just such an emotional time for us. And I don't think politics has ever been so volatile. It certainly hasn't in my lifetime. So it's going to be important to be compassionate and to win graciously and to lose graciously, I think, irrespective of who wins. So my main point is be considerate and compassionate. People are really taking this very, very, very seriously. So you want to make sure that you're being very caring and kind. And that's especially because the election could go in a certain way, and then we could find out that there was misrepresentation or there was an issue with the ballots, etc. So it could be one way and then it could flip. It's going to be very, very interesting. Just be compassionate to your fellow people and find common ground. And that's what I love about music. Music really connects us all, irrespective of our political leanings or what we believe in philosophically, religiously, etc. So find those areas in which you all can agree, because we can't really just hate half the country. Like, that's not really practical, especially because we are all connected. So if you're suffering, I'm suffering too, even if I don't know it. And if I'm suffering, so are you. So you want to be compassionate and find common ground. Let's not make politics create more distance. We want to create a unity because we are the United States. So that's my plea to everybody to do whatever you can to be compassionate to the other party and find common ground wherever you can, because we are all connected. And well, we want us to be united. And whoever winds up winning, we have to make the most of it. There are some people that are already saying, if this person loses or if this person wins, I'm going to have to go on antidepressants, or I'm going to be really depressed, or you can't do that, or you can do that, but you're just going to suffer. There is little you can do about this, right? We're not completely in control. We can cast our vote, but at that point, we have to really say logically, well, whatever winds up happening, it's for the greater good of all. And that's a very, very tough pill to swallow, depending on your political leanings. But I think that because we have said, God bless America in our songs, so much we've said, God bless America, that I'd like to think that God has blessed America and will continue to bless America. And even if God blesses America with a president that we don't necessarily want, we have to realize that we're still blessed, that for whatever reason, this is what America needs. So lean into that. Like anything, you got to make the most of it. There's a psychologist, I forget her name, but she's been saying, how we have all this difficulty sometimes making decisions. And she's an Aries, this psychologist. She's really cool. I forget her name. I'm sure I'll talk about her later at some point in the future. But she said you really shouldn't have concerns about making decisions, because what you're doing is you make a decision and then you make that decision work. And the same thing really with this election. We as a collective are making a decision, we hope, right? And we're making this decision and we have to make it work, whatever the decision is. So whatever winds up happening, do yourself a favor. If it's a decision that you don't like, don't resign yourself to misery for the next 4 years. Make it work. There's some way that it's going to work for you. Yeah. And hopefully it will go fine for all of us and it will be pretty easy. I do think that with the beautiful watery placements that, obviously people are going to have a problem and there's going to be a lot of issues, but I don't think it's going to be catastrophic due to the aspects. So on Wednesday, of course, we're under our waxing moon. We're taking inspired action. Mercury, planet of communication, rules your day on Wednesday. Expect lots of correspondences. Be flexible. Pad your sketch with some extra wiggle room, as you never know what might come up out of the blue on Mercury's day. Your moon will be in Capricorn on Wednesday. Keywords for Capricorn include ambitious, disciplined, practical, responsible, patient, resourceful, determined, hardworking, strategic, reserved, and realistic. And it's a 6 on Wednesday, which represents care and responsibility, signifying nurturing, protection, and service. Think empathy and commitment. And it's National Nacho Day. We're certainly going to need nachos after this election. Not that we, again, will probably know by the 6th. So we might be stress eating if we're really invested, or maybe we're celebrating with nachos. Maybe we will have an answer. I doubt it. In any case, savor the cheesy goodness and bold flavors of nachos. Gather with friends to enjoy this tasty treat while celebrating creativity and sharing your favorite toppings. Those nachos look really good, but I don't think there's not nearly enough sour cream. Not nearly enough sour cream, I don't think. We need a lot of sour cream. Hey, Steph, nice to see you. Thank you. Yeah, thank you. You're concerned, Casmar. Casmar, you'll make it work for you. It's going to be fine. You'll leverage it to your greatest advantage. We have to. Like, that's the most practical thing to do. You just got to do it. I mean, obviously, if you're really invested, you might be really upset with the result, right? But I would be as detached as possible, because I do think that it's highly likely that there could be a declared winner, and then they do investigating, and then we could find that call was wrong. So stay on your eagle's perch if you can, and just observe and just know that, like, it's all working out for you. There might be more opportunities for you, even if your candidate loses. What if there's more opportunities for you if your candidate loses? Right? At the end of the day, that could be really, really great. So definitely do what you can to go with the flow and be flexible, because like I said, things could change. If you remember 2000, they certainly did. We'll talk about that in a second. Holy shit, that was a big old mess. And Mercury was retrograde back in 2000 with the Gore Bush thing, which we'll talk about in a second. So a waxing moon, of course, on Thursday the 7th. Take inspired action, pursue your desires. Jupiter, planet of luck and abundance, rules your day on Thursday. So think big and doubt your limits. Go beyond your stretch. Stay loose physically. I would say, especially if you're making a big transition in your life, mind your hips. Your hips don't lie. The hips actually are ruled by Sagittarius. So whenever you're making moves, you might want to loosen up your hips, do a little dance, shake a little rump, enjoy yourself, enjoy your body. And remember, your body is your unconscious mind. So if you can physicalize what you want to do, like, what does it feel like physically to win that award, or to be in that amazing job, or to be madly in love, etc. Let your body move in that way, because your subconscious doesn't know why it's doing that. It thinks it's already happened. So definitely enjoy your physicality as much as possible, and keep everything loose, okay? So your moon will be in Capricorn until 5:57 p.m. East on Thursday, which is ambitious and practical. But then, we figure out the rules and follow them when the moon is in Capricorn, and then we break the rules as the moon shifts into Aquarius at 5:57 p.m. East on Thursday. So the shift from the Capricorn moon to Aquarius moon will spark innovation and community. It's going to be ideal for embracing new ideas and fostering connections. And 7, numerologically, represents wisdom and contemplation, signifying understanding, introspection, and spiritual depth, knowledge, and inner reflection. And on this day in 2000, who remembers this? What a mess! The U.S. presidential election ended in a statistical tie between Democratic Al Gore and Republican George W., only to be settled on November 12th by SCOTUS after a bitter legal dispute. You remember this? With Florida? Gore essentially conceded, and then he realized Florida was really, really close between him and George W., and he actually rescinded his concession. And I think, from what I remember, Gore wound up calling him and being like, "Oh yeah, never mind, it's too close." And George obviously was upset about it. He's like, "What do you mean you're changing your mind?" And Gore says, like, "Well, you don't have to get snippy about it," because I believe George W.'s brother was actually governor of Florida at the time. And Gore said, "You don't have to get snippy." Of course, George is going to get snippy about it. You just conceded, and now you're rescinding your concession. In any case, it was quite a mess. And I checked it. Mercury was indeed retrograde November 7th, 2000, in 2000 with that election, which makes perfect sense, right? Because it was so ridiculous. One of the problems was, do you remember the punching when we had to punch holes for to cast our votes. Well, one of the problems with it was total Mercury retrograde issue. The names weren't aligned. So there are these other candidates that were chosen because there was a misalignment with where you were punching your hole in the actual names. What a mess. What a mess indeed. But I don't think it's going to be that bad this year. It might be. It might be. I think there's definitely going to be a recount, most likely, especially if, obviously, if Trump doesn't win, he's going to absolutely recount it. But it's going to be very, very, very close. It's going to be very, very close. I've been looking at this for quite some time now. It's like the astrology looks good for Trump. The cards don't look good for Trump. But they've gotten better. So just so you know, that's where things are at. There could be more surprises ahead. You know, it's going to be very, very, very close. And like I said, there could be a change. There could be a switcheroni. But in any case, remember, love your fellow Americans, irrespective of their political party, okay? We need to come together and be united. And whoever wins, right, we got to make it work. We got to make it work. There's opportunities inherent in that. So I wish everybody well and no stress. And I don't think it will be as much of a mess as it was back in 2000. And to avoid a mess this holiday season, well, get your presents early. Get gift certificate for a psychic astrology reading. That's the gift that everyone wants, the gift of insight. So you can get your holiday gift and get a gift certificate for your recipients. And I will create a design for you, for your recipient, and I will make sure they are in good hands. So if you have anybody that you care about and you want to make sure they're set up for a 2025, a happy and healthy and prosperous 2025, well, I will take care of them and they will be in good hands like Allstate. And any denomination, and whether you're Jewish and you celebrate Hanukkah, or you're a Christmas person, or you want it non-denominational, I'll design it with your specifications. And objectively, honestly, I think it's the perfect gift. It really is. So definitely check out my gift certificates if you are so inclined. You are making your husband vote. He has never voted before. Oh, wow. Okay. Well, rock the vote. Rock the vote. It's good to do that. It's good to vote because even if you're in a state that's like primarily red or primarily blue and you don't really care, not that you don't care, that doesn't really make a difference at the end of the day, you might think. It's the process of actually giving your voice and doing your civic duty and allowing yourself to make your voice be heard, right? He's 57. Wow, and he's never voted. That's fascinating. Well, some people, it's just not their jam. Well, I'm glad you're making your hubby vote. So on Friday, the 8th of November, well, we're, of course, under our waxing moon phase, so we're taking inspired action. Venus, planet of love, rules your day on Friday, so stay in the vibration of gratitude. That's the space of receivership. Spread the love. We're going to need it, right? It's very, very intense week for a lot of people, so spread love. Be you want to what is that, magnanimous, I think that's the word. You want to be gracious and you want to spread as much love around as possible, because a lot of people are going to be very, very upset, most likely, or at least on pins and needles if the decision has not been made. Your moon will be in Aquarius on Friday. That should lighten things up. Keywords for your Aquarius moon Friday include innovative, independent, humanitarian, eccentric, intellectual, unconventional, friendly, visionary, and progressive. An 8 numerologically on Friday represents abundance and power, signifying ambition, financial success, and authority. Think material prosperity and achievement. And let's give them something to talk about. Happy birthday, Bonnie Raitt. She's turning 75. So on Friday, you must celebrate the legend's timeless contributions to music, honor her soulful voice and masterful guitar skills that have inspired generations. Blending blues, rock, and Americana. I love it. I love me some Bonnie Raitt. I love Have a Heart. That's a great Bonnie Raitt song. Give him something to talk about. I forget what else she does, but she's great. So celebrate her birthday and listen and dance along to her music on Friday. Like, what better way to celebrate your Friday? For sure, with some Bonnie Raitt. And then on Saturday, the 9th of November, of course, we're under our waxing moon phase. We're taking inspired action, pursuing paths to miracles. All miracles are based on love. You want more miracles, love more. And Saturn, planet of discipline, restriction, and responsibility, rules your day on Saturday. So it pays to get your ducks in a row. Set yourself up for a successful week ahead. On Saturday, your moon will shift from Aquarius to Pisces at 10:59 p.m. East. So most of your day on Saturdays should be innovative and social. The shift to your Pisces moon on Saturday late will deepen your intuition and your compassion. The Pisces moon will be perfect for fostering creativity and embracing emotional connections. And 9 numerologically on Saturday represents humanitarianism and compassion, signifying healing, altruism, and closure. Think empathy and global awareness. And on this day in 1967, the first issue of Rolling Stone was published. The title inspired by the saying, a Rolling Stone doesn't gather moss, right? And it featured John Lennon on the cover. It aimed to reflect the evolving landscape of rock and roll. And we should always do that. We should always enjoy rock and roll from the past to the future, maybe even listen to some Beatles. I think that's something we can all agree on. Is it not? I think so. I think we can all agree on the Beatles, right? We can all agree on the Beatles. All we need is love. Let's focus on the Beatles this week. So thank you all so much for joining me. Casmar, Steph, Pam, thank you all so much for joining me live. Anybody else who's watching live, skulking live, I appreciate it. And for watching the replay, of course. I'm at psychicsun.com. My link to everything is in the description below. If there's anything I can do to be of service, you just let me know. Have a wonderful weekend. I hope you're still celebrating Halloween. And happy new moon, of course. It's a wonderful new moon. Check out all the free resources. Make the most of this lunation. This is our final push, I think, really in a lot of ways, due to the retrogrades, to make our 2024 goals realized. So keep that in mind. And take care, everybody, and I shall see you soon. Bye-bye.